If it means vanquishing another sin and saving a young soul, will Matt Murdock become an apostate? Will he turn away from the cloth? Well, let's hop into the pages of Daredevil issue number 13 and find out together, shall we? So then, picking up directly from where the last issue left off, Matt and Electra had teamed up to finally defeat Wilson Fisk the Kingpin, and in doing so, drive out the demonic spirit of greed that was possessing him. It was a long, hard-fought battle, and one that ends up actually giving Daredevil a hell of a lot of pause. He reflects on his life, his second chance, his work as a priest at St. Nicholas, and he wonders to himself if any of it actually mattered, or if any of it can still be maintained after tonight. Needless to say, Matt is going into one of his oh-so-classic existential spirals, when his world is further rocked after the Kingpin, his oldest and most hated foe, reaches out to Daredevil not in anger, but actually asking Matt to help save his soul, a question that Daredevil just simply does not know if he can answer. And it's also probably right around here too, you're probably asking yourself a question. And that, of course, is what the hell happened to the art in this book? I mean, it was always a little on the inconsistent side, but Saladin Ahmed's writing did more to help carry you through than anything, but oh my god, this issue in particular is just noticeably worse than all the rest. I mean, look at Daredevil's face right here. Why does he look so smushed? And why does he have the dopiest teeth imaginable? Seriously, this is an easy contender for a so bad it can really only become a meme in the comic book fandom. Seriously, that's your homework, everyone. Make several memes with this image and show them to me in the morning. And while the rest of the book isn't exactly going to be winning any beauty pageants anytime soon, I'm happy to say that nothing is as bad as that one singular image. Now, back over with the St. Nicholas orphanage kids, they've been forced to flee their home in the middle of the night after Jason seemingly brought back one of those deadly sin monsters with him. With Matt missing and Father Javi now hobbled, the kids have no choice but to seek out a man named Mr. Patrice, who is apparently a friend of the church. Apparently, this dude was something of a bad man in Haiti before he immigrated to America and ended up getting some good old-fashioned Jeebus in his life. It's actually through this new character we actually end up learning a fair amount about Father Javi too. Apparently, he was a vet back in his own war-torn country and survived 9/11, all in the span of a single lifetime. I mean, no wonder Matt likes him. Of course, while everyone is busy reminiscing and swapping stories, Jason ends up escaping through a bathroom window, blaming himself for all the bad stuff that's been going on recently. And I mean, yeah, I guess he did kind of kick all of this off, didn't he? In fact, Matt is still beating himself up for being unable to find this poor kid after he discovered his double life as Daredevil, and he thinks to himself that if he had just not had a double life, then none of this would be a problem right now. Elektra has her own problems, mainly that after everything they've been through in the last couple nights, Matt just kinda up and let the Kingpin go, even though they have actively witnessed him murder several people with his bare hands. Yeah, sure, he was under the control of a greed demon, but it's not like they couldn't find something in Wilson's not too distant past to punish him for. Admittedly, though, Kingpin does shock everyone by running off to the church himself and getting himself lost in prayer for the next several days, meaning that maybe this isn't some post-possession mania. Maybe Wilson really is serious about saving his soul for once. Needless to say, Matt and Electra's relationship didn't exactly need all these extra trials and tribulations as of recently. Matt even says that Electra's one of the few people who he can always count to look out for him, and that while he's always grateful, Electra herself admits she doesn't know why she bothers sticking her neck out for Matt so often. It's almost like an addiction or a compulsion of her own at this point, and that maybe she should have let Matt make the most of his second chance at life by being a priest and never rolling back into his life to begin with. Now, eventually, Daredevil does swing back by St. Nicholas's, only to find the place completely trashed and Father Javi beaten within a near inch of his life. Thankfully, though, he doesn't blame Patrice, as, let's face it, he is at the moment the only man standing there, and he's armed with a gun. Patrice promises to look after the kids and take Javi to a hospital, meaning that Daredevil must once again hit the streets to try and find Jason and maybe whatever it is out there that's tracking him. Matt does this all night, only to end up coming up completely empty-handed by the morning when Elektra hunts him down once again, because hey, even if they had a big knockdown drag-out fight, she still can't stay away either. Matt, as per usual, blames himself for everything that's been going on. Apparently, Kingpin's possessed words from the last couple issues about spitting in the face of God when being given so many gifts has really resonated with the Man Without Fear. In fact, as Matt says, despite being called the Man Without Fear, he has many fears. He was afraid to help Wilson when he reached out to him. He's afraid of losing Jason, and he's afraid of not being able to balance his two lives anymore, and because of that, Daredevil actually ends up making a choice. He burns away his priest clothes, making a very clear declaration that he plans to abandon this part of his life moving forward, and it's on that note right there the comic comes to a close. And so that was Daredevil issue number 13, everybody, and oh boy, was this one rougher than I hoped. Not the story continues to be interesting, even if we don't really see a lot of movement. Matt having himself a little crisis of faith is certainly nothing new, but I do like the extra added dimension of this time Matt very actually being a priest, being a man of the cloth, and turning away from it means not only redoubling his efforts as a superhero, but also becoming an apostate. No, the real problem this issue is the art and the fact that it is really, really noticeably bad. I know I've said it time and time again, one of my biggest shortcomings as a critic, as a consumer advocate, as a reactor, recapper, commentator, whatever you want to call what it is I do online, I way oftentimes get way too obsessed with stuff like story and plot and characters, and I don't normally talk about the art near as much as I should, which is sad because, you know, comic books is a 50-50 marriage between writer and artist. I'm also pretty big on forgiving artistic shortcomings when I really like the story, so man, if the art in this one is so bad that I had no choice but to recognize it and point it out, then it must be pretty bad. It's why I'm gonna actually end up giving this story only a 7 out of 10. Again, the character stuff, the story stuff is all there, and it's as good as we've come to expect from a mid, but oh man, that art is just something I cannot look past, and it's something that's gonna be seared into my brain moving forward. Here's hoping the next issue, though, is able to improve.
Hey there everyone, it's your pal Cape Joel again, and if you're seeing my face right now, that means you watched at the end of the video, and I'll always be grateful for that. Retention helps in this crazy YouTube game, and so does becoming a patron. If you head on down to the description, you can find a link to my Patreon page. Recently just redid all the tiers, a lot of cool stuff offering up there, exclusive commentaries, exclusive polls, behind the scenes concept art for Capes and Quest, that's the brand new D&D show I've started soon. Never been a better time to become a patron. You can become a patron for as little as $1 a month and help the channel grow and, you know, help me continue to deliver content like what you just saw. So I want to thank you all, and I will see you again next time. Bye-bye.